Thank you. Thank you. Hello, hello! We are moments away from qualifying beginning for the FRL Chinese Grand Prix. 18 minutes of qualifying await us to set the grid for our feature race here, and it appears to be wet and wild right now. I'm Nexi. I'm joined here in the commentary box by Sierra.
Hello again. Ooh, is this gonna
Alright.
be this is gonna be our first wet I think our first wet session of the actual calendar.
Yeah, currently. Well, why don't you update us on the standings right now?
Yes, after a couple of races in between since the last time, let me bring the standings up. So John is still leading the championship with 108 points. Leo in second with 83, Morgan with 73 in third, and Luck in fourth with 67. Those are the four championship protagonists. And after another dominant win from John at Canada, he now does lead the championship by, I believe that is 25 points. So basically a full race win ahead of second place, who is his teammate Leo.
Indeed, a very strong start to the campaign from John right now, as we have a couple drivers coming out on track. Random is going to be the first one to set a quali time. All of our drivers here are going to be on the intermediate tires. Going to have to adjust their setups. We'll see if the race itself gets wet, because that could determine if they choose to go with dry or wet setup. If there is a prediction of wet weather in that race, remember Park Ferme rules, you cannot change your setup.
I think you can change only the front wing and, of course, your tyre pressures. But you can instantly see that there's going to be a difference in strategy for qualifying, as both Leo and Luck are already out. Leo, who does normally wait a considerable amount of time before setting his first lap, is already out on track. Maybe the track's going to get worse, it's going to go into full wet conditions, and so they got to get the laps out as quickly as possible.
Indeed, it is going to be a crowded track, as we have John also coming out. We have an Aston Martin out there, which is Skylar. Avo's still in the pits. No, he's coming out of the pits right now, so it's just a couple drivers. We have a Ferrari, a V-Carb in the pits, and I believe that is a Red Bull in the pits.
Yes, that would be Priddus in the pits. Random is now coming into, now doing his first lap. Oh, massive slide around turn one.
Yes.
This track in this weather is absolute behemoth to drive.
Yeah, there are a
I
couple of
imagine there'll be a lot of mistakes, and maybe drivers are worrying that they might have to do 2 or 3 laps just to get a lap on the board.
Indeed, it is a very tricky lap to get through in the wet. It's a tricky lap to get through in the dry in some of those sectors, because you want to run your wings as low as you can for the straights. Those are your key overtaking zones. But it does compromise you a little bit in these tighter turns. Random's going through the last 2 thirds of sector 2 right now. Those two are very slippy, even in the dry, let alone in the wet. You have to be very careful, very precise with the throttle. But he manages to get his time going right now. A couple other drivers going to be behind him. And he is approaching an Aston Martin. We'll see what he's able to
He
do.
might
But turn one, very snaily. Very tricky.
he might get a very good tow just down this back street from the Aston Martin of Avo.
Indeed,
Is he
no
gonna?
DRS.
Obviously, yeah, no DRS as the track is on intermediate conditions. No DRS will be enabled until it starts to dry up a little bit, if it does.
Considering
But we'll
everybody
see what
going
the
out so quick, I think the track might just get wetter over time. We'll see.
random to set a 148.2 effectively. We'll see where that stacks up. Troy will be the next one to cross the line, and then it will be Random's teammate Sam, who has invalidated his lap, so it will just be Troy.
Troy sets a
With a
148.204. 5,000 separating the two right now. Very close fought affair so far.
Very. The first of the championship rivals will be the next two across the line. It'll be Leo.
Yeah, we'll see what he has in the tank. A
A one.
145.3.
I think there's a lot of experience telling in that lap time. As I think Luck probably would have invalidated his lap just from the speed he is going. Yes, so I believe the next across the line will then be Morgan, who we'll see where she comes out.
Yeah, Morgan has been putting in a very good campaign so far. Very up on her previous results. The last time she raced here, she's been going through a lot of improvement herself. A 146.9, though, is what she is able to put in. You know, she'll know that she has more in the tank there than that. But we haven't seen many of these drivers tested in the wet. So that
No,
could be
and
the
it'll
true
be
case.
Skylar then slots in of 149.7.
Indeed, Luck is going out on his lap. We'll see if it's an in lap, but
I don't think it is, no, because of the invalidation, but I don't think he will. He might do 2 cooldown laps here, I'm not sure. Yeah, he's definitely. I don't know, I think he might actually be doing a normal lap. We'll see if Skylar gets out of the way or not. Yeah, he does, although that could not have been good for his lap. John then comes up with a 145.4, only a couple hundredths away from his teammate. Troy now with a 147.6.
yeah, Troy punching above his weight. They say that wet conditions are the great equalizer a lot of the time, and right now we are kind of seeing that. Troy punching well above a lot of the midfield at this early stage in the qualifying session right now. Not even that far behind Morgan in the lone McLaren. Very strong performance so far in the wet conditions here in China. Kimaru sets a 146.3.
I do wonder if the track conditions are getting better though, because it just looks like the times are tumbling down, and the track already looks like it might be drying up. Although it could just be a bit of a graphical error. As
Indeed.
Mavi then takes provisional pole with a 145 flat.
3 tenths advantage there. Luck only setting a 145.1 in response, so the Scuderia just looking stronger than they normally have so far. Mavi's a driver that threatens for the podium usually on good weekends, and here he is threatening pole position.
He is one that can easily win any race that he's a part of. I mean, last time out, he was within that fight that had me, Leo himself, as we were basically neck and neck the entire race. So it's not like he's a newcomer to racing for the win in this scenario.
Yeah, he is a race
course,
winner in FRL too. So,
yes, winning. I think he won Las Vegas for the
yeah, it was
first win
the
last season.
Las Vegas Grand Prix of Season 6. Back on F123 when we went there for a little bit.
He did the, was it Chastain who did it in NASCAR where he rode the wall to victory?
Yes.
I remember that because he literally pipped me on the line.
Yep. I'm looking at John, who appears to be on a fast lap right now in that Silver Arrows. Going
a very
down
fast
the
lap
back.
so far.
Yep, going down the back straight. Leo's going to be on an out lap. We'll see what John brakes about 150. Part of the trickiness of these wet conditions is that you have to brake much earlier. That hairpin is going to probably be a mistake generator if this is a wet race itself.
Not just on entry, but on exit as well, because you want to put the power down as quickly as possible.
Oh.
As John sets the first 144.8.
So it does appear that the lap times are starting to come on down. Maybe slight improvement in the track as we go on through Troy's going to be coming along. He's down on his lap time.
That, and looks like one of the Aston Martins. I think that's going to be Avo, who comes up with a 148.6, so comes ahead of Max, or goes ahead of Sam and Prudis.
Yep, the Aston Martins finding improvement. They were in the 149s before. Only about 4 seconds separating us from last place and first place. Almost exactly 4 seconds, actually.
Actually, kind of uncanny how similar those times actually are.
Yeah.
As it looks like both Mavi and Luck are opting to not do two fast laps.
Yeah, we do have Leo out on a fast lap. He could challenge for pole here. He is improving and finding a lot of time right now. We'll see what he's able to get, but a lot of these drivers are going to be looking to get out there and improve. I wonder if anybody will take a gamble and try a run on softs.
Oh, I don't think the track's nowhere near close enough to get onto softs yet.
No.
Maybe just about online, but I can't see that happening as Leo has a massive snap there.
Big mistake exiting Sector 2, but he has so much improvement.
He's 9/10 up. Even with that mistake, he is completely destroying this lap.
Dude, that just shows the improvement here in the track as it dries up. Leo going down. He's going to be passing the Aston Martin as he lets him go.
This might be a race on who can get out of the pits last at the very end of quali and who cannot get hit by the traffic on their fast lap. As Morgan's on softs, maybe it's time for softs.
Yeah, Morgan going for the gamble on softs right now. Leo's going to cross the line with a 1:43.9. The lap times are coming down fast and loose. John's going to be holding in the pits for a while. I think a lot of the drivers in the pits are going to be looking to see how Morgan gets along in the softs.
Well, she's in the pits right. They're in the pits right now, but it looks like it's being prepared, which means obviously the track is going to dry up and it's going to be a last. Basically, you can almost just say the first part of qualifying does not matter, and now you got one lap, one opportunity to get pole. Can you do it?
We have an Aston Martin coming out of the pits, maybe a little bit too early.
It is Skylar, so maybe he wants to just get another lap in, get a lap in as fast as he can, and then see what happens with the rest of the pack.
Yes,
because of course, if something happens to anybody at the very end, because we don't know how long the track would be ready for softs. The track may not be ready for softs at all.
Indeed.
But if it's ready enough, it might only be ready enough in the last 30 seconds, which means everyone's going to have to try to get out in 30 seconds, and that's going to lead to a lot of traffic issues. So trying to get a good lap on these intermediates seems to be a very good call, as both Luck and Mavi are out on intermediates as well.
Indeed. This is going to come down to how much you are willing to risk on your tire choice, as the rain does appear to have stopped here in China. It looks like the call may have been for softs. Skylar, if he wants to, and if he decides to go for it, should have enough time to get in, bolt on softs, and get out. Avo's coming out on intermediate tires. He might not have enough time to get back in and get those softs bolted on if he is going for it. A very interesting decision.
I want to see what lap times Mavi and Locke are able to get on these intermediates, because that might determine whether or not it's ready for the soft tires.
Skylar bolted to the pits.
I think he thinks it's ready. Will Mavi bolt into the pits as well is the real question here.
Yeah, the whole
He's
grid's
massively
going
up on his time. Yeah, he comes right into his pits. It's going to be soft tires. That is going to be the tire choice.
Yeah, I don't think
Everyone's
Luck
gonna have
managed an improvement. If he did, it was very slight, as I know he's still going through. I saw
he's
a
still
Red Bull.
on his lap, but he has to pit here. If he doesn't pit here, he's risking starting at the back of the grid.
Yeah, he has to pit. He's going into the pits.
And he does, yes. So that's going to leave him with not too much time. This lap is quite a long lap. Like, if you're trying to warm up the tyres, people want to start leaving now because there's going to be a lot of traffic, especially if you're people like Leo, John, Mavi, Luck, and Morgan. You want to be leaving effectively now just to ensure that you
Yeah,
can
I see a
get that
Ferrari
lap on the
coming
board.
out. I see a couple cars coming out of the pits right now. That's a
Oh, DRS enabled.
DRS is enabled. Things are starting to get very interesting very quickly right now. All the action will be happening. Cars coming out of the pit. Pit crews working overtime to get these guys out and get them out in time so they can set their fast lap. They're going to be trying to avoid traffic as best they can, but there is going to be a huge traffic pile up here as we continue to go on through.
I think Aston Martin, Sam and Avo are screwed. Morgan may have left it way too late. She has to get across the entire track in 1 minute 4:50 seconds. I don't think she can do that. No, I don't think she's gonna set another lap time.
Yeah, there is Red Bull also
And
coming
neither
out of
is
the
Luck.
pits. Yeah, Avo's not even going to attempt it, I don't think. I would think it would be a mistake at this point for Avo to attempt it. You just gotta save the soft
Prudence
tire.
jumps up to fifth. Yeah, Morgan's not gonna get a lap. She has to push this lap, or she just isn't gonna get a lap in.
Yeah, even if
Those two are gonna have to race the clock.
Yeah, even if she gets there, she's gonna have to take quite a bit out of her tires in order to get that lap time going. Here they go, though. There's an Alpine off in Sector 1 right now. That is random, so that's gonna be his lap done.
That's his qualifying over. He'll probably be at the back of the grid in that case.
Avo's going out. With a minute left, I can't help but feel like that's a mistake on the Aston Martin, that you're just taking a little bit out of these tires for no reason.
Yeah, and 40 seconds left, and I don't
And
think Morgan or Luck. I don't think Morgan or Luck are gonna make it. I think both of them are gonna really drop down. Like Troy, Random, and Kimaru might all qualify ahead of them. Look, they're having to burn the battery, but I don't know if they're gonna make it.
Even if they do make it, they're not gonna have battery left to really set a good lap time here. We'll have to see what they do. They're both going to be side by side. Luck may even run into dirty air issues on his own lap.
Look, are they going to make it?
Morgan's able to start it. Luck is also able to start it. Sam and Avo are done. Their lap times are set in stone. We're going to have a Red Bull going into the pits.
Random is also effectively done.
Yeah, Random just having a bad lap there. We got a V-Carb going to be crossing the line next, and he is going fastest overall in the second sector right now. Then it's going to be the Aston Martin of Skylar. Then the two Mercedes. We have a Ferrari in the mix. That looks like there's a Ferrari that has spun. Mavi has spun, so his qualifying's over.
Huge for them, though. Looks like John is currently up on Leo.
Indeed, Kimaru going to be across the line right now. We'll see what time he sets. A 147.
So 140.7. Sets provisional pole. Obviously, we're now waiting for John to come across the line, see what time he sets. Troy sets a 141.9.
Skylar sets a 142.
John, 138.9. The next across the line is his teammate, who is also on a very, very fast lap.
See what he has. 138.8.
138.8.
Leo on provisional pole. We have Morgan right now, followed closely by Luck. We'll see what they both have in the tank.
I think Luck took pole.
We'll see, we'll see.
Yeah, Luck took pole.
Luck takes pole at the very last second. We'll see by how much, but he was following behind 138.6. I am shocked that he managed a dirty air of the
Yeah,
McLaren behind.
all that dirty air, but then you gotta remember that was a huge amount of tow. He was right behind Morgan for that entire back straight. That would have given him at least another 0.5. That probably would have negated the entire dirty air effect on these fresh tires. So
Another pole
really,
position for Luck.
exactly, and you gotta really worry now for Mavi, who's now completely out of position and now has to try to work his way through the field. That's just the issue. What happens if when you have one lap for your qualifying effectively, or else, well, that sort of stuff happens.
Yep, one shot qualifying with extra steps. Avo also making a mistake there, not able to get the lap out. We'll see what everybody has here as we prepare. I believe there will be a formation lap this time.
Yes, I believe so. That was definitely one of the qualifying sessions. Troy actually out-qualifies Mavi in this. Actually, end up in P6, which is a really good qualifying from Troy.
Indeed, he's punched well above his weight in these more challenging conditions here. We'll see if anybody set up a wet setup for the race, because if they didn't go with the dry setups, they may get caught out here, assuming it doesn't rain.
Yes, and China's tire wear is a bit of a iffy one. I can't imagine anyone to be starting on softs, if I'm going to be honest. Maybe Skyler would like to start on softs just to prove me wrong, as always, but
Skyler really likes using the soft tires when it feels like they shouldn't work, and he usually makes them work. He's a consistent point scorer here throughout these seasons.
that is a very, like, he has very much found his way into those spots. I want to see how this happens on the start, though. Luck and Leo alongside each other.
Indeed. Luck, probably luckily for Leo, is going to be the one defending, else I would be worried about your inside. Sometimes. I mean, no offense. But, gotta be careful.
And it's just your words, not mine.
I've seen many a dive bomb from the Husky.
I've experienced them, one of them.
uh, it's a lot different when you're actually feeling the dive bomb physically in a cart, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a much different feeling when you just happily take in your corner and just get a whack from the side.
Hey, it could have been worse. The cart could have clambered over top you. That does happen in karting.
I would be very surprised if that happened there, to be honest. It was definitely too slow of a corner for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I went karting the week before that too. One over here, and it was a very fast-paced track all the time. And sometimes you hear a loud thunk, and the whole room just goes quiet, and you stare out, and you're like, "Oh God."
It's a very similar one to the track near me, except mine's an outdoor track. So
Yeah, unfortunately,
sometimes
that indoor.
sometimes the grip's a lot better, and sometimes the grip's a lot worse.
Yeah, unfortunately, that indoor track did end up closing, which sucks. It was very fun. It was my only time doing it, but it was a very fun time doing it.
Like we are getting ready to race, or at least we assume will be the formation lap.
Yep. Oh, if it is, then I can give us the full grid for those of you just joining in or catching this up and skipping ahead as we await. Look at that fancy old building. I can't believe they put 25 on it though. The ego of EA to stick F125 on the side of the hotel. The giant
I mean,
font.
they had to stick it. They had to remind you what game you were playing, I guess.
Yeah, in case you forgot that you are playing F125.
Hey, did you know? You might forget. You might. Oh no, we're going straight to the race, are we?
No, it is
No, it is
formation lap.
formation lap.
All right, on our front row here, we have Luck, who managed to just barely pit pole position at the last possible second, followed by the Mercedes and of fellow championship contender in Leo. John, the other Mercedes and championship leader, leads off the second row, followed by Morgan in P4, who's looking for a couple wins here in FRL. We then have Kimaru, normally at the head of the midfield, starting P5, lining up ahead of Troy in the lead. Ferrari for the first time this season, and his best qualifying of the season in the tricky rain-wrapped conditions that we had here. Skyler leads off the Aston Martin pair in P7, followed by the second Ferrari of Mavi, who's a little bit out of position, having a huge mistake at the end of qualifying. Prits leads off row 5 in the second Red Bull, followed by Sam in the lead Alpine, and the last of the points-paying positions today. Avo in the second Aston Martin in P11. He wasn't able to set a dry lap, followed by Random, who had a huge shunt at turn 1 at the end of qualifying, starting in 12th. Mix of hard and medium tires to start, too.
Yes, John on those mediums. You might see him try to make a move on his teammate Leo into turn 1, or at least quickly early on. With Kimaru in P5, might try to stick it to Morgan, at least at the very early stages of this race, depending on how much they can get ahead or keep up.
Indeed. Everybody wagging about. Wiggling their tail.
Been a pretty quick formation lap, actually. Like, normally formation laps are a lot slower than this. They're almost at the end of the race. End of the race, end of the lap.
Yeah. Luck, I think, just wants to get this thing started as soon as he can. We'll see if anybody goes out of position on the grid box. If you do mess this up, they are probably out of practice with it. You do start slightly back.
Yeah, you see Luck and Leo massively ahead with John behind. Morgan obviously opting for a bit more of a gap. Oh, and there you go already.
Luck a little bit ahead. John just barely not ahead. Morgan
and Morgan as well. That's really not good for either of those two. Luck is going to end up quite a bit behind. Like, you lose about 3 or 4 meters.
All right, we are moments away now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. FRL's off in China as Leo gets a decent launch over Luck, but there's John in the back. John gets a little bit of a wing alongside. Leo has the inside line. Luck unable to defend that inside line, but he's going to be going around the outside. You get a little bit of a switch back into turn 1, but Leo takes the lead through. That's John on the inside. Morgan had a really good run on him right now. Kimaru in P5, Skyler P6, managing to get by Troy, who has fallen down to the P7. It's Ferrari.
Massive lock up of Luck, and a dive from Morgan.
Yeah, Morgan.
I want to see if there's any damage in that one. That looks like her car is fine, but that's gonna give a little bit of a scare, and John is all over the back of that Red Bull of Luck right now.
Yeah, Luck
just the medium tires are hugely in his favor here, and
indeed, and like John for his own championship needs to get by Luck pretty much right now on this opening lap, or at the very least after lap 2. He needs to prevent Leo from being able to build up that gap. And really...
God runs really wide into the start of sector 3 there. You have to try to burn as much energy as possible just to try to keep a little bit within DRS here.
Yeah, so far the field managing to keep it clean. Pridas down in P11 now as both Alpines manage to sneak their way
Oh,
into the
John's
points.
trying to make a move
John's
on
alongside the
the
outside.
hairpin. Luck spins.
Luck spins in for a championship contender and poleman. That is huge as it's currently a Mercedes 1-2 and more. Luck going very wide at the end there. Gonna maybe
too wide
have
though.
some...
I don't think that'll be any issue. But he's now got to look out for Kimaru, who's just having a bit of a look. He's right there, and he's on those medium tires, so he'll have the grip advantage as Luck goes wide.
Yeah,
and
Luck
Kimaru
has
just comes all the way through. But
Luck
trying to
getting
cut
back the
into turn 3.
He's
A
burning
brilliant
his
position for a
battery.
switchback, but he doesn't have the traction on the inside. Kimaru will have the inside line going into turn 4. Can he make that stick?
They're
Yes,
squeezing each other, a little bit of wheel barging, but Kimaru is through. Little bit of wheel barging there is right now. Mavi back up at the P6, Troy P7, the two Ferraris managing to switch positions, keep it clean. That's Skylar down in P8. And we have a bunch going on. John also got the lead at the Grand Prix as this was going on, using those medium tires to his advantage. He's doing exactly what he needs to do if he wants to win this race.
That's exactly the situation there, and Kimaru now is well within this fight, and he can now try to keep up with Morgan. He'll have DRS, so he'll be able to at least maybe have a look at making a move here.
Yeah,
Swerving
Kimaru's
around, he goes
pulling
to the
in.
inside, and he'll make the move. Morgan will have to slot back down into
Oh, Shachik gets the switch back into the hairpin. Kimaru
that was a really wide move.
Yeah,
here I thought it'd be a simple DRS pass, but here comes Luck! Down the inside, into the final corner.
Yeah, I think Kimaru, yeah, he just compromised himself. I think he compromised himself in that hairpin, going very deep, very late, just now broke himself, and now even Mavi is going to have a run on the V-card, as Luck is looking to get back at the McLaren.
Luck will now be trying to... Oh, look at that overspeed Luck has. He's going to try to dive it into turn 4.
Oh, there's not a lot of moves there, but he has it, but Morgan's going to be pulling off the switchback. Luck locking up, just out-braking himself to try to get the move done.
And behind Mavi gets past Kimaru.
Yeah, Morgan is showing some very, very strong defending through these opening stages of the Grand Prix right now. We have Mavi going to be looking to maybe get into this fight and challenge for the podium too.
Oh, Luck!
At least Luck has a moment there.
He's going to have to fight Kimaru again. He fought so hard to get by Kimaru. Is he going to have to fight again? No, he just about defends the position from it and does keep the DRS in this train. So he's in this train, but he loses the spot to Mavi, who will now have a chance to fight Morgan one-on-one here.
Yeah, there is no love between the junior and senior teams in the Red Bull V-Carb dynamic. At least not here. DRS is deployed. Mavi's going to be looking to the inside of the hairpin. We'll see if Morgan has another switchback in her. Mavi has a little snap on the inside. Morgan has traction. She's going to have the inside. She holds the position. Good defending from the McLaren again, but these guys
but she's not going to have anything
hit.
going down into turn 1, and Mavi's going to make that easy with an easy DRS pass into turn 1.
Indeed, Mavi finally gets himself into the podium positions that he should have been contending for since the start, if it weren't for that bad qualifying. Luck having a lot of mistakes in the early parts of this Grand Prix, but we'll see what he's able to muster in if he can get himself together. Morgan holding P4. Kimaru up in P6 now. Luck looks at the inside again into turn 4. He has a wheel alongside. You are owed space if you have that overlap, but Luck just not able to find enough traction as we go in.
There's no way you're running around the outside of someone there. That's just... It's just an ambitious position to even think about being in.
As this is going on, though, the two Mercedes, keeping it civil, are pulling well ahead. A 4-second gap between Mavi and Leo right now. Leo is going to have the tires come to him as time goes on here, too.
Morgan is now going to be put on a little bit of pressure from Luck, but she will have the DRS to defend herself.
Yeah, Morgana's been defending very well. Mavi not throwing a defensive shape, locking up a little bit into the hairpin, potentially. Yeah, he's very wide. All three drivers going very wide. Luck.
You do want to take a very wide line out of that, though. That is the thing, but Mavi does go off track in the last corner. Kimaru, I think, is just now out of the DRS range. Yeah, he is. So he will no longer be part of this train unless he can really catch up again in this lap.
Indeed.
The question is, will we get a breath?
I don't know if I'm gonna have a breath. My throat may be killed anymore. It was already killed by Halloween a little bit. It may be killed a little bit more as these drivers are putting on one heck of a show for us today. Mavi having a little skid through turn 3 here. Or turn 4,
He is slowly breaking away from Morgan. The only issue with this is that a DRS straight is just so powerful of getting that time back, that as long as you're within the second, once you have the DRS, it will gain half a second on the car ahead. But speaking of so, Morgan doesn't have the best of exits there. She might be out of DRS if she's not careful. She'll have to burn a bit more energy than she probably would have liked to.
Indeed, this is the fight for the podium, but as we go on through, and it's currently race update. Mercedes having a 1-2 position, Mavi in 3rd, McLaren holding 4th here, Luck in P5 after several moves, but he might not be P5 for long. He's looking to the inside of the McLaren. Morgan gonna be shaping up, give each other space. They give each other
enough,
the room.
but they're going to be side by side into the final corner. Morgan will have to concede, but look, Luck isn't going to have DRS here. Morgan will. Will Morgan make a move into turn 1, or did she just a bit too far away? I think she's just a bit too far away now. So Luck is now up into P4 and will have to be chasing Mavi for that podium.
Indeed, we have Kimaru P6 dropping on back. Troy holding P7. This is going to be one of his strongest performances of the year if he manages to hold it right now. Sam in P8. He has a 3-second time penalty. That happened earlier. Amid all the other chaos, there is a huge train behind him for P8. We have Random in P9, Skylar to lead Aston Martin in P10, Prits P11, Avo P12 at risk of falling out of DRS. But there is their own train for the last points paying position. Prits may even be shaping up for a move to get up into P10 right now. He's very close behind Skylar.
That is true, and Skylar will not have DRS now. Skylar's out of the DRS train.
Indeed, so the Alpine's gonna be pulling alongside. They even do a little bit of a switch of position.
Sorry, I just witnessed Luck. I thought Luck was about to lose it into that, into the long right-hander there. Look how quickly Mavi has caught up to the front too, though. Indeed, he's taken half a second out of Leo and John.
Yeah, Mavi's putting in some strong pace here in China.
Luck makes another slide, another snap. He might lose all that time he spent gaining that DRS back. He might just lose it again here.
Avo manages to get by Prits further on back down. I did not catch that on the camera, but just updates everybody on that fight for the final points paying position. It currently belongs to Skylar, and now it's Avo as Skylar goes into the pits. Very early into the pits.
Early pit stop. Maybe he's going to go for a 2-stop here. I mean, I don't think those hard tyres will last the whole 21 laps, but I've been wrong before, and I can be wrong again. Wouldn't be the first time in this season that I've been wrong about the tyre choices, so...
Yeah, he is on the hard tyre right now, with Luck having some more skids behind that Ferrari. I think the dirty air catching up to him through Sector 2.
I think both of them, I think Mavi might have made a mistake there. He did lose a few tenths to Leo in that corner alone. There might have been something in that corner that caused both of them to have a bit of a slide. The gap now stabilizing between the Mercedes and the Ferrari of around 3.5, so maybe Mercedes are kind of answered back now. They've seen them catching up. They don't want any part of this fight going on here, but I'd like to see how that goes, as there's still a lot of time being saved there. As it looks like Sam and Random are fighting
Yeah,
for
they have
that P8. The two Alpines are fighting. Wow, just like in real life, the two Alpine drivers just are not
Yeah, they have
going to stay out of each other's way. And you got to look out for Pridders right behind Avo behind. As we see Random getting by, should be an easy DRS overtake. But what about Pridders behind? Pridders will probably have a
Yeah.
look.
And Sam
Oh,
goes into the
Sam!
hairpin, but is very wide now. Outbraking himself a little bit through that hairpin. But he is, Random is able to hold that P8 right now, and Frida's gonna be looking to get at Avo. Avo's going defensive into the inside, but Pridas has the easy DRS pass. We'll see if Avo has anything left to respond in that position there. Sam also not able to get by Random. These two Alpians have been going at each other for a little bit right now. Mavi gets the gap down to 3 seconds further up the grid. Leo's closing in a little bit as it looks like the medium tires might be starting to lose their shape a little bit.
Yeah, I wonder if John will pit
Oh!
soon and then. Oh.
John had a pretty large snap on that curb right now. That might invite Leo to make something happen. Somebody outside curbs here, very much not able to hold that car down. You upset the ground effect, and just, even sometimes the curves are just death curbs in this. Avo getting by for that last points paying position too. There is fighting up and down the grid. Leo shaping up a move. He's gonna be very close right now. John, we'll see what he has. He continues to go around. Leo has burnt battery as well.
John has burnt all the battery trying to keep ahead of Leo. But behind, looks like Luck has decided that he wants to lead the charge to the two Mercedes, and so has decided that he will now be ahead of Mavi down the DRS. So Luck's now in that third position. Sam actually managed to get past Random again. I completely missed that one happening, but Sam is now leading this train once more.
Indeed. I believe it looks like John, excuse me, might be slowing down a little bit too on those medium tires, because that gap is coming on down huge, even despite the overtake happening in that last lap right now.
Yeah, his lap times are almost... He was half a second slower, like... Last lap, he was half a second slower than Mavi, 1.5 seconds slower than Luck. Luck didn't have the DRS to aid him, but look at that gap. It's basically evaporating now.
Yeah, and both the Aston Martin and Red Bull got past the Alpines. I wonder if something happened between them further on back. The Alpines may be fighting too hard with each other, or maybe the medium tires are just coming undone. John going defensive here. Leo's going to have a chance to get by with the DRS. The
thing is, though, this Leo is very much going to be happy to sit behind, at least until he feels like John is no longer fast enough, which he is now.
Yeah,
Leo was definitely waiting for that move again and again and again. That was definitely a calculated move. He knew exactly when he was going to strike. As God, I think we need a second camera just on the Alpines at all times. They just seem to be swapping positions every 3 or 4 seconds at this point.
Yeah, Alpine having a legendary battle in the back right now, except it's now for the final points peg position as Sam gets back. Sam does have a time penalty. I'm surprised it's not part of their calculations right now, but maybe they just want to race each other.
We can see, actually, just how much John's tires are gone. He's barely holding in the DRS from Leo. He's going to have to burn everything just to keep DRS within.
Indeed,
and obviously keep Luck behind out, because as soon as he gets DRS, as soon as Luck gets DRS on him, he's going to be gone. So
yeah, our championship leader.
You'd think John would have to pit here, but I don't know if it's early enough for them to pit. I think you have to wait until around 12 or 13 to make the hard tires not basically suffer the same effect as... Oh! Avo has spun!
Avo spins out in Sector 2 right now. I don't know if I see any Yeah, that wing is damaged. Avo's gonna have to pit off of those medium tires. That is a very broken wing in the Aston Martin. The only saving grace
Oh
for her
yeah.
is that he is going to be very close to the pits.
And it's going to be within his pit window, so he's not going to lose too much as the two Alpines decide that they're going to swap positions once again. I'm not really sure what's going on with those two, but they seem to have actually
Morgan is in the
of
pits.
it. Morgan pits off her hard, so what did she set up? Another set of hard tires. So she is going for a two-stop. Mavi and Luck are now within DRS of John and Leo. They have caught up to the two Mercedes now. And this is now a four-person train for the lead. I've seen this before. I know this. I know where this ends.
Leo is breaking that DRS, though, barely right now. It's so close between the two Mercedes drivers for that DRS window, but I think Leo's gonna have it. John probably has to pit at this point just to avoid losing more time behind, or fighting with the Red Bull and the Ferrari here. Yeah, he just loses too much time in the corners, and if you go side by side for too long, you're gonna lose too much time. I think now is the time to pit, even if it's a suboptimal window. You just gotta do it.
You have to, but look where he's gonna come out. He's gonna come out behind Troy, behind Kimaru. He's gonna have to get by both of them. Maybe not Kimaru. Kimaru may pit as well, but he's gonna have to get by them.
Let's see what he...
Or he may
He
have to
pits.
hold Leo. He pits. I want to see where he comes out here because he might lose a lot of time fighting with the slower cars on the worse tires.
Indeed, we'll see what he's able to do.
If Kimaru pits here, John may be saved, but Kimaru does not pit.
No, but...
Neither does Troy.
The Mercedes pit crew does their job, but Kimaru is gonna sneak on by here. We'll see if Troy sneaks on by. He does.
He does, and now John effectively has to get by Troy as soon as possible. Yeah. He's only a second behind him. He's going to lose so much time behind Troy unless he can make a dive really early or into a really unusual spot, because making an overtake in Sector 2...
It is very hard.
I wanna keep a very close tab on this actually, because I wanna see if he does make that move. Because every corner he's losing time. Look, he's right on the back of Troy here, but how is he gonna make a dive? You can't make the move. You have to just sit behind him and just wait for the DRS. You might make a move here if you're really feeling into it, which he might do. No, but he has to just be careful.
Yeah,
he might gain it back. He will gain it back here on the DRS. He'll make the move on the DRS here, but the damage is done. He's lost probably a second or a second and a half to Luck and Mavi just from that alone, and that might curtail it for him really, because
he is on a different strategy though. We'll see what he's able to do now once he eventually gets the clean air. As Kimaru also enters the pits right now, so John does have clean air.
That was exactly what John needed to see, because he's 21 seconds behind Mavi, which is about a pit stop. So he will come out ahead of them, but he would have lost so much time in that fight, and probably a lot of more battery than he probably would have wanted to lose.
Indeed, but we'll see what they're able to do, as Skylar is ahead of Kimaru, actually. Once all is said and done, he hit very early onto the hards. We're gone in P6, currently on track. Roy's gonna be falling behind a little bit. Maybe getting reeled in by the McLaren. Prix has not stopped yet, but everybody behind Prix has stopped. Prudence.
Yes, we know for a fact. Oh, and Luck and Leo are side by side.
This is for the lead of the
This is
Grand
for the
Prix.
lead
No.
of the Grand Prix here.
Leo
Both
getting
going to be
real.
fighting it. Luck's going to look to the outside. He's going to have to go the long way around of turn 1, but he's going to try it. Leo's going to be on the inside. Going to have a lot less room.
It's gonna
He's going to
switch back to
push
Luck
but he's
being on
going
the
to...
inside. They leave each other space right now. Luck
Does
giving a
Luck have the
little
traction?
squeeze. There was
Yes,
a
he
bump, I
does, but
think.
Leo has the speed.
Very
And Leo
strong.
holds the lead.
And I think that is what John further back wants to see. These two fighting as long as they can through that first sector. They were side by side the entire first sector. And John now reeled in another second.
This is huge for John. He has to just see how much these guys will lose of each other. Maybe Luck thinks his fight's not with John this race, or maybe he thinks that John's tires will not last.
Yeah, they are on completely different strategies. To a degree, it doesn't really, like, matter too much. It's not going to be in your calculations, because, like, if the strategy just doesn't work for you, it just doesn't work for you, and you get what you can with the people you're on the same strategy as. But at the same time, you do need to think about it.
Luck gonna dive to the inside here, into the hairpin. He should make this move stick unless Leo gets another good set of traction on the outside, which he does.
Yeah, and this is going to invite Mavi a little bit, but Mavi not able to get alongside into that turn. DRS is deployed for all of them, but this is just working to John's advantage. Non-ideal lines benefit the car that can take the ideal racing line.
I just gotta think. Look how much time John gained on them that lap.
Yeah,
what was that? That was a 140 from the leaders, and then a 136.9. He gained 3 seconds on that lap.
John is putting in a race right now. Quali laps, even, you could argue. Goodness me, John fighting as hard as he can. It was Schumacher in Hungary that had to do this kind of thing to make his own strategy work. Put in the quali laps in 1998, one of the best drives in F1 history right there. And oh my goodness, 14 seconds now. They may have to. John may have found the better strategy. Like, he's gonna run into this problem in the end, but it doesn't matter too much if you are so far ahead. Luck pulls off to the inside of Leo. Leo has a little bit of a wing overlap. He might go for the switchback here into the hairpin.
I don't think he will. No, he will not. And I think Marvy's dropped off a little bit here. Leo dives into the pits.
Yeah, I think Leo sees what his teammate is doing behind and decides, I need to stop fighting if I want a chance to win this Grand Prix. It might be too much of a task to take the tires, though. Medium tires is the choice.
Though, Kimaru lasts 11 laps on the mediums. Leo will be doing 12 laps on the mediums with less fuel, but the most important thing here is that Leo gets ahead of Morgan, comes out ahead of Morgan. Luck and Mavi will not come out ahead of Morgan, especially Mavi now. Mavi will not come out ahead of Morgan.
Indeed, Morgan and that...
Luck might just about do it, but he'll have to pit this lap and do
Troy
an absolute blinder.
Both coming out on mediums as well. So most of the grid is pitting. Skylar is now ahead.
Skylar will probably have to do another pit stop as well. Was there a... No, I don't think there was... No, there was no... No front wing change for either of them, so...
I think
the only
they
front
were
wing
just...
change was Avo, so...
I think they were just the last few that hadn't pit there. There was yellow flags in Sector 3, which was around Mavi and Luck, and I think Luck had a big mistake, because Mavi is now a second ahead of Luck.
And this will just mean that both of them now have to get past Morgan. Morgan will now be in a net P3 once these two pit, which should be this lap. I would be surprised if... Yeah, okay. Yeah, and no, Luck continues on for another lap.
Luck wants the tire advantage. At this point, I don't blame him too much. But
I don't, but you just made that mistake on your basically worn tires without anyone around you to force that mistake. I don't see why you keep on those tires unless you really want the clean air, but
he might.
I don't see it.
Yeah, he might just be going for that clean air. We'll see. You are right. Morgan emerges ahead of Mavi. 6-lap-old hard tires. John on 5-lap-old hard tires, but with a net lead of the Grand Prix of about 8 seconds. Leo has one heck of a drive to do if he wants to get there. Skylar's in the pits for the second time. So he's going to be on fresh tires right now. Probably fresh mediums if I had to get... No, fresh hards.
Fresh hard. Well, maybe some drivers may be having 2 hard tires, some having 2 mediums. At least now he knows he can absolutely demolish these hard tires.
Indeed, he should be able to get points today if it works out very well. The 2 LPs are on pretty worn hards already. That will come to him as the time goes on. His teammates right behind him. Avo not having a bad race beyond losing the front wing right there, but would be wanting to get a lot more, but the race should come to him with some of the medium runners. Luck stays out again!
I don't know what he's thinking at this point. Is he just trying to wait until Morgan pits again?
I don't know.
As Leo sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, we're going to see if Mavi gets by Morgan. He should easily get by Morgan, and now Mavi is now free to basically try to catch up to Leo, who is trying to catch up to John. It's a game of cat and mouse at this rate.
Yeah, but who would be the mouse, really? I guess John.
But really, in theory, it's John, because they're all going to be chasing John for this lead. John's in the net lead. They're going to be chasing him for that win.
Yeah, but are any of them a T-Rex?
Well, Leo is a dragon. I think that's it. Leo and Mavi are both dragons, so...
Yeah, they did used to think that T-Rexes are dragons. At least that's what the apocryphal tale of that is.
So, it's basically close enough, right?
Yeah. You know, dragon, dinosaur, tomato, tomato. That means that they are all birds.
So Avo is also in this category then.
Indeed. Avo, the avian dinosaur. Mavi eating into the gap a little bit right now as Luck finally decides to come into the pits.
Just look, he's gonna be like 5 or 6 seconds behind Mavi at this rate. I don't think he has the tire. I don't think the tire match is gonna give him that much of a gain. As Mavi sets the fastest lap of 1:35.5. That is quick for a medium tire race stint. So. That's that, and of course, once again, Leo's taken a half a second out of John.
Indeed, it just depends on if, like, what they are going to burn resource-wise. John had a very good start to the stint. He is very far ahead still. We'll see what they do, especially if Mavi catches up to Leo first. Which is probably what John wants for his own race, is Mavi to catch up to Leo. And for Leo to have to start looking behind rather than ahead, but currently about to fall to 5 seconds, in a 5-second range. There are sectors,
one thing
though,
John doesn't want happening, though, is Mavi being faster than Leo, getting by Leo, and then dragging Leo up to him. It can go either way, and Luck has obviously just now pitted as well. He's got a huge mountain to climb. He's 9 seconds behind Mavi, he's basically almost half a pit stop behind. Yeah, he's almost a full pit stop behind John, so he's gonna have to make up an entire pit stop if he wants to try to win this race. But we'll have to see how that pans out as Mavi now dips below 2 seconds and Leo dips below 6.
Dude, it looks like... Ooh. It's actually starting to hold a little bit steady, though. Like, I don't think Leo is eating out enough time right now.
It was 8 temps that lap, so he still eked out 8 temps. So, by this logic, he will make it. He will catch up to John, and we want to know. And it might be that John's tires just do not last.
We'll have to see. Like, looks like a lot of the time gain is in turn 4 right now. Luck is setting a purple sector too. Everybody's on the charge. The Alpines are continuing to duel back there, meanwhile. It's the French Civil War
like...
back here.
And Prix has a front row seat to it.
Gee. The American getting to watch along as usual.
And you see now Luck is now within a second of Morgan. He should now make an easy work out of that McLaren, who does have to make another pit stop as well.
Yeah.
She doesn't actually, doesn't technically have to, actually. Does she have to? No, yes, she does have to. She's gone hard, so she does have to make another pit stop.
Yeah, wondered that she is probably going to be able to go on to softs, but won't really have the time to get much more than P5 again out of it.
Yeah, but
she goes in now.
Look who's on the charge here. Look who's within a second of Leo.
It's Mavi. I think Mavi has caught up much too quickly for Leo's own race right now.
Yeah, Leo only took out 0.4 from John. Mavi was over a second. Really, if Leo wants to win this race, he's got to try to find a way to let Mavi by, not lose them too much time. But Leo, once again, is now gaining so much time on John. Yeah,
it's the start of Sector 2 that the differences in the tires really become apparent, but if they start fighting, they're gonna lose a bit of the advantage that they have on the medium tires right now. The medium tires give you that traction in Sector 2, that you can push the grip just a little more, you can get on that throttle just earlier, you can turn that wheel just a little more as Mavi has a slight snap.
He turned the wheel a little bit too much, but now he will be just zoning down, trying to catch up to the back of Leo and make a move. Will he make that this lap? He's gonna look to the inside, but no, he's a bit too far back. But he's forced Leo to use all his energy to catch up, and
yeah, he threw
see a little how much they can do now, as Mavi will probably keep looking everywhere he can for a move.
Yeah, Mavi's race isn't getting by Leo as quick as possible. He's not going to get by on this first lap here right now.
But he's right on Leo's gearbox, which means that he's going to have the pressure on him right basically the entire lap, providing Mavi doesn't slide himself out of the race.
Indeed, Mavi on for a very strong finish, regardless of what happens at the lead right now. But, ooh, they're pushing. You can tell that they are pushing those brakes to their absolute limit. The best thing for John is if Leo has to go defensive here. As they now start to approach the third sector. Mavi putting in the good performance right now. John doing what he needs to as well. Here they go. They're going to be coming around. We'll see who gets the better exit.
Look how close Mavi is. He's 3 temps behind.
Leo's going to have to go defensive if he wants to hold it, or try a switchback. Mavi pulls up to the inside. The overspeed is there. John's pushing, I can tell from the little brake skids. Mavi has brake skids. And that's gonna invite Leo, who has a little
I
skid
don't think
himself.
I don't think Leo's got much in him now. I think it's now going to be how much can Mavi now catch up to John? And I reckon he can catch up a lot. I mean, he's got 4 seconds to gain and about 5 laps to really do it. Game on for him, really.
Indeed, Mavi is by fastest laps the fastest driver on the track, if you go by that metric, but...
Well, I think that's actually Luck now. Luck,
oh, right.
Luck set a 1:35.1 just a few laps ago, so... But last time out, he made that overtake, and he still gained 9/10 of a second.
Yeah, assuming that what I saw was accurate to what was happening on Mavi's screen, because it did look a little laggy. It looked like Mavi did drift slightly out of turn 4.
He's not gained as much time as he would like here.
Indeed, Morgan's going to be catching up to Kimaru and getting back her 5th position too, almost assuredly. Leo's going to be dragged along here. I don't know, though, if he has the time, really, at this point. John's using resources as well to hold that back. He knows if it gets to DRS, he's done. Everybody burning resources. Mavi, assuming that that was an actual lockup and not just something on my end, pushing those brakes as hard as he can.
But he's not gained any time.
There's yellow flag. That's Luck. Luck loses his chance to get onto the podium here right now. With a big mistake in Sector 3. I think he just spun out a little bit. You can see that that car is dirty now, and Luck just has to put in laps to finish this race.
That gap is staying around 4 seconds now, though. Mavi is not catching in, as it's been hovering around 4.1 for a couple of laps. Maybe those medium tires are now gone. They're no longer got the overspeed, and maybe John has this win in the bag.
Yeah, John did what he needed to do on the hard tires. Got a little bit of help from the cars in front fighting, but yeah, I think John's got it. I don't see them, like, even if they do get into DRS, it's going to be hard to make the move in time with the current pace differential right now.
Well, there is really no pace differential. I mean, Mavi's perhaps a couple tenths quicker, but he ain't going to catch up in time for that. In fact, last lap round, John was actually faster than Mavi, while Mavi was in clear air.
Indeed. Further on back, the Alpines continuing to fight with now a Red Bull in the mix.
They're still basically watching the French Civil War going on.
Indeed. But, Sam does have a couple time penalties holding over him, so... At this point...
Yes, I think he has 6 seconds of time penalties on his name.
At this point, a lot of this is to the detriment of Random, who goes wide, but then comes on maybe in the path of Prix. That's a borderline rejoin, if I've seen a borderline rejoin, if I'm being honest here.
But he's not going to be able to make much of it, and the issue with Sam right now is that he's got 6 seconds of penalties. He's only 5 seconds ahead of Skylar. And Skylar is on the freshest of the tires, as Kimaru does actually pit. I didn't know Kimaru was actually pitting from 6th.
Yeah, he pits onto soft tires. He should be able to get right on back by Droy. I think he just wants to do a little bit of a glory run here.
Understandable, really. It's always nice to have a bit of a fast lap after the end of it.
Indeed, very little risk. He should get by Troy in the DRS as soon as that comes on down. The differential's just going to be too high. Worn medium tires close to their cliff compared to very fresh soft tires.
I don't want to say anything, but Mavi has just taken a lot out of... taken quite a bit out of John this lap. I mean...
Yeah.
Prix,
Oh, Random
like...
hits his teammate! And he's hit the wall! Random just ran into the back of his teammate at the end of Sector 2, that double left-hander, and it sent him careening into the wall. His wing is broken. Skylar's now in the points. The Alpine teammates break the first rule of racing. Don't hit your teammate. They come together. I think there was just a little bit of an overspeed misjudgment on Random's part. Random does have newer hard tires. Maybe Sam just had a bit less speed coming out. Random's gonna have to continue on to the end to try to keep Skylar behind for this last points paying position. I think because of the time penalties, it won't really hurt him in terms of being ahead or behind Sam, unless he loses
it might
so
do,
much
though,
time.
because he might lose a lot of time because he's got that broken wing. He might drop a lot of time, and that might incidentally create Sam a position where they get 9-10 instead of 8-11, which in the grand scheme of things is actually a worse overall positioning, but
it lets them both score points, and that will make them feel better.
exactly.
See what they're able to do, though, because Random does have to hold off Skylar broken wing, and I think there was even more contact with the red.
You gotta be careful because Prix is all over the back.
Prix is just hitting that rear wing. I know he's American, but this isn't NASCAR, right?
Well, I mean, the Canadian is gonna be... I think Skylar might be trying to get past Random as well here. At least, I would hope that he might make a move. No, he doesn't. Prix is not unable to make a move on Sam as well. Sam does run quite wide. Prix is gonna look... I wouldn't look there, but...
He should have the run and the battery to be able to get by here. Or will he?
I don't know. It's a short run into turn 1, and he doesn't make it stick.
Some wild defending going on. a wild battle. You can see the overspeed Prix has on the medium tires compared to Sam on the 16-lap-old hard tires.
It's all over. He's just all over the back, but he can't find a way through. You can't overtake through sector 1. You can kind of try it if you have the overspeed, but he didn't have the overspeed going into turn 1, and Skylar's looking all over the back of Random behind.
Indeed, Random doing a defensive beast right now on the broken
Skylar's
wing.
gonna look around the outside, maybe gonna try to flick it back to the inside. He's gonna look to the inside of the double left-hander. Is he gonna make that stick? His contact. Random runs off the track.
Yeah, but
Skylar's gonna try to make it down the inside.
There they go! Skylar forces him a little bit wide, but Random only had so much at the tank with the broken wing, and Skylar is through on track with the Aston Martin. He should also be able to get by Sam, and the Alpines are coming completely undone.
You gotta remember that Sam now has to defend both Prix and Skylar next lap, because I don't think Random's gonna be able to do much.
Indeed.
And it would be going on to the final lap of the race.
Yeah, we are on the final lap of the race right now. Leo might have one more chance to get back into P2, but it depends.
Let's actually look.
Let's...
I do not think he'll be able to make that. He might burn everything he has, though.
Yeah, you do have one chance left at the hairpin here. We'll see if he's able to do it.
Not making that gap as
No.
Mavi's
Mavi.
able to defend, and John,
Yep.
a championship leader, will
He's
come around to win the Chinese Grand Prix.
Mavi's
Mavi will
second.
hold off Leo just about for P2, Leo in P3, Luck in P4, and let's see what happens between Sam, Pridus, and Skylar.
Yeah,
Sam
Morgan's
will obviously have the 6-second time penalty.
Yeah, Morgan's able to come by, and Pridus hits the
Oh,
rear
they
of
make
Yep,
contact!
Skylar hits the rear of the Penguin. Morgan's about to cross the line in P5 in the McLaren.
They're gonna go 3 wide!
Here
They're
they
gonna go
go!
2 wide! He's gonna look to the inside! Skylar's gonna take P9 on the track, it's gonna be P8 after the penalty! But he's also got the DRS to get past Sam anyway! And here comes Random!
The broken wing Pridus! It comes
Pridus is all
undone
coming
for the
undone!
Americans.
Oh, they're gonna swerve! Oh,
They're fighting
I'm gonna
hard.
have a look at that
Appo
one.
drifts in the background there. Just for style. Skylar takes all of those positions on track. He's not done. Sam goes wide. That might even
Pridus also gets ran wide. And Skylar will win out and take P8 from this fight.
Skylar,
Random,
what the
has,
heck?
Random with his broken wing survives at the P9. Pridus got to feel hard done getting P10 there. And Sam finishes down in P11.
Yep. Here comes Avo. Last of the Tours. In P12. That fight lasted the whole race. We were only able to show bits of it because of the fight for the lead. John extends his championship lead right there. Leo gets third. Mavi gets his, I believe, best finish of the season so far in P2. The Brazilian doing very well for the Scuderia. What was that podium animation? What are Cody's cooking?
One of them. But this actually gives John a huge advantage going into for the championship. Extends it not just by 7 points, but extends it by 10. So he now leads Leo by 10 points on top standings.
Need a very strong performance from the American, who went from winning the occasional race to just winning races like it's going out of style this season. John continues his strong run of form at the campaign. Mavi coming P2. Very strong race from him. Leo down in P3. Luck in P4 from Pole. Did have the fastest lap in the end. Morgan P5. Kimaru gets by Troy on the softs for P6. Troy P7. A quiet race for him, but a strong performance from the Ferrari. Skylar, what a drive to keep P8 there. Random in P9 on the broken wing, getting by Pridus, who rounds out our points. Sam P11, Avo P12. Our next race is next week.
What will be the next? What is the next race on our calendar? Oh, oh gosh, it's gonna be Baku.
Oh, if you thought this race was crazy, just take this track, get the long straights, and then have a bunch of narrow walls with this kind of aggressive fighting. We'll see what Baku produces for us. That'll be a good race. It'll be the same time, same place. I'm Nexy. I've been joined in the comment box by Sierra. I would like to thank our league admin, Leo. Our head steward is Colo. We weren't able to cut the N for any of that. He's our special guest in the lobby. My God, what a race.
I'm getting a glass of water.
I don't blame you, bud. Take care, everybody watching.